Hi guys, I'm Anshul and I'm a writer and I especially like learning about gods, demons and mythology. So I'm trying to combine my two loves and bring to you original tales with a mythological twist. Hope you enjoy. And Indra's voice echoed across Gokul. People of Gokul, your end has arrived. Panic spread through the crowd as Indra continued. You insulted me when you stood beside Krishna, and today I have come for revenge. Indra was still angry with the people of Gokul because in the previous age, the people of Gokul had humiliated him. Krishna had taken their side, protected them, and Indra had been unable to do anything about it. Even today, that wound still hurts his ego. And now finally, he has a chance to get his revenge. Because Gokul's prince, or rather former prince, Sham, is furious with both Gokul and its people. Sham was supposed to be the next king, but then his father was murdered, and somehow the blame fell on him. His father's prime minister had him arrested and cleverly took over the throne. Sham had believed that people of Gokul would fight for their prince, fight for their leader, but nobody stood up for him. Nobody spoke for him. And so Sham rotted away in prison for a crime he never committed. Now Sham not only wanted to kill his father's murderers, but wanted to destroy Gokul itself. He couldn't understand how everyone had forgotten him so easily. As a child, people would stand in line just to meet him. Everyone loved him, everyone adored him. But now it was all gone. He saw the people of Gokul as selfish and he wanted to wipe them out. For Indra, this was the perfect opportunity, a chance to finally destroy Gokul. So he visited Sham inside his prison cell and made him an offer. Sham, I know you didn't kill your father. You were framed. And the people of Gokul abandoned you. Honestly, that's pretty sad. What they did was wrong. And let me tell you something. Gokul doesn't deserve a leader like you. These people think small, and they will always remain small. Sham looked at Indra with surprise, but deep down, a part of him agreed. Then Indra smiled. But unlike them, I don't think small. I am Devraj Indra, and I know talent when I see it. I can see that you have the potential to become a great king. That's why I have come to take you with me to heaven. Sham smirked. What? You are going to make me the king of heaven? Indra smiled. Exactly. You know that every Indra rules only for a limited time. Eventually, a new Indra takes over. My time is almost over. And I think you can become the next Indra. Sham shook his head. I don't believe you. Come with me, Indra replied. You will believe me soon enough. Shah pointed towards the prison gate. Do you not see where I am? I am locked up. There are guards outside. I can't go anywhere. Oh, I see. Indra snapped his fingers. The guards instantly fell asleep. The prison lock clicked open, and just like that, Sham was free. Together they walked through rain and made their way to heaven. The moment Sham arrived, his eyes widened. Everywhere he looked, there were precious gems and jewels. The entire place sparkled. Then he noticed something extraordinary, a tree made entirely of gold. Indra smiled. That's Kaltaru. It can grant any wish. A little further, Sham saw a beautiful cow. Indra pointed towards it. That's Kamdhenu, the wish fulfilling cow. And everything you see here belongs to Indra. Then Indra led him towards an enormous shining throne. The moment Sham saw it, he couldn't take his eyes off it. Without even thinking, Sham started walking towards it. He was about to sit on it when Indra stopped him. 1 second, Sham. That throne isn't yours. At least, not yet. But it can be. Sham looked at him. What do I have to do? Relax, Indra said with a grin. I think you will enjoy the task. I want you to completely destroy Gokul. Not a single person should survive. They are arrogant people. In the previous age, I tried teaching them a lesson by flooding their land with rain, but Krishna saved them. Then Indra smiles at him, but this time it will be Sham that destroys Gokul. Indra handed him the Vajra, his most powerful weapon, A single strike from it could reduce Gokul to dust. Sham accepted the weapon, but his attention kept drifting back to the throne. He couldn't stop staring at it. Can I just sit on it once? He asked. As he started walking towards it again, Indra blocked his path. Be patient, destroy Gokul first. Then the throne will be yours. He gently pushed Sham away. Still staring at the throne, Sham said, I will destroy Gokul and then I will sit on that throne. As he walked away dreaming about the heavenly throne, he suddenly froze. A familiar face sat inside Indra's court. It was his father. Sham ran towards him, but his father turned his face away. Murderer, you killed me, his father said. Sham stared at him in disbelief. What are you saying? I didn't kill you. The minister did. Maybe you don't remember. His father looked him in the eye. You murdered me just now. Sham stood speechless. His father continued. I never imagined that my own son, the boy who was supposed to become king, would speak about Gokul this way. This made Sham angry. What did Gokul ever do for us? What did Gokul ever do for you? The moment you died, they accepted your murderer as their king, and they accepted me as your killer. But now I will teach them a lesson. His father remained silent. Sham then proudly explained how he would destroy Gokul, become the next Indra, and sit on heaven's throne. But instead of looking proud, his father was disappointed. Then his father said, so that's what this is really about, the throne. My death is just an excuse. Then he looked directly at his son, and honestly, I am glad the minister became king after I died, not you. Because you don't deserve to be a king. You always put yourself before everyone else. Those words hit Sham like a weapon. But before he could respond, his father walked away. He wanted to stop him, but couldn't. Later he overheard two Devtas talking. How did Indra choose this man to become the next ruler of heaven? This is a man who never cared about people on earth. Why would he care about them here? Their words stung. For a moment, Sham wondered if they were right. Maybe really he had become selfish. But then he remembered the prison, the betrayal, the false accusations, the time he lost, and once again he became the victim in his own mind. His anger returned, and so did the desire to destroy Gokul. A little later, Indra approached him. So, ready to end Gokul's story and claim your throne? Sham nodded confidently, yes, and they left for Gokul. Back in Gokul, the people had gathered inside the royal palace. The minister's coronation ceremony was underway. Flowers decorated the palace. Dancers performed in the courtyard. Priests chanted prayers. Drums echoed through the air. The crown was just about to be placed on minister's head when suddenly a loud clap of thunder shook the sky. Dark clouds covered the city, and Indra's voice echoed across Gokul. People of Gokul, your end has arrived. Panic spread through the crowd as Indra continued. You insulted me when you stood beside Krishna, and today I have come for revenge. And I have brought someone with me. Someone who will wipe Gokul off the face of the earth. And he will begin with your brand new king. Thunder clapped again, and suddenly Sham came down from the sky, holding Indra's Vajra. Indra's voice boomed once more. Krishna once saved you, but Sham will destroy you. Sham placed the Vajra across minister's neck. Your game is over. The crowd was frightened. Their protector couldn't even protect himself. But before Sham could strike, the minister stumbled in fear backwards. Wait, I am not really the king. I killed Sham's father and stole his throne. Then he pointed towards Sham. He is the rightful king, not me. He looked at Indra. I am leaving. You can kill him and all these people if you want. Then he turned and ran. But before he could escape, lightning struck him and he fell dead. Sham looked at his body and said to himself, some king he is. Then he turned towards the crowd. This is the man you chose. The first moment of danger appeared. He ran. He is the one who killed my father. He is the one who framed me. And now he has left you all to die here. The terrified crowd fell to their knees, begging for mercy. At that moment, an old man stepped forward. He raised his hand, and the crowd became silent. Then he looked at Sham. If you truly believe you are the rightful heir, then fulfill a king's duty, protect your people. He pointed towards the crowd. Ordinary people don't understand palace politics, but they understand one thing. They know who truly cares for them. The crowd nodded and began chanting, "Protect us, Sham, protect your people." At that moment, Sham saw his father's spirit among the crowd. His father nodded proudly, urging him to do the right thing. That's when something changed inside Sham. Suddenly, these people didn't feel like strangers anymore. They felt like his own. Sham looked up at the sky and said, "Enough, Indra. Leave Gokul and its people alone." Indra was surprised, but then he laughed and said, "Who will stop me?" To which Sham replied, "I will. As long as I am here, you can't harm them. So go back to your throne in heaven." In anger, Indra called the Vajra back to himself. The weapon flew from Sham's hand and returned to its master. "Oh, really? Then let's see how you protect them." In anger, Indra hurled the Vajra towards Gokul. It went straight towards the crowd. Without even thinking for a second, Sham jumped in front of it. He wanted to become shield for his people till the time he was alive. The deadly weapon rushed towards him. Sham prepared himself to take the blow on his chest. But just before it reached him, the Vajra transformed into a king's crown and gently landed on his head. The crowd erupted into cheers, and at the same time, the dark clouds disappeared. High above stood Indra, and beside him was Sham's father. Both of them were smiling. "Congrats, Sham. Now you are ready to become a king." Indra smiled and said, "And by the way, this wasn't my idea. This was your father's," said Indra. Sham looked at his father as the old king said, "When I was alive, I never truly prepared you to become a king. I was too busy with my responsibilities. But I wanted one last chance. I wanted you to understand one thing. A king must care for his people. The people don't have to care for their king." Then he stepped forward and hugged his son as the crowd cheered. After this, Indra came to Sham and said, "Sham, today you have proven that a true leader is someone who is willing to fight even the gods for the sake of his people."